There are moments in life when the shadows around us grow larger than the light within us, moments when our fears whisper louder than our dreams, when doubt stands tall, towering over everything we believe we can be. But in the face of these giants, humanity has always found strength in a single story. One that reminds us that courage doesn't come from size, power, or experience. It comes from the heart. This is the story of David and the giant. And this is the story of the giant you're facing right now. Centuries ago, two armies stood on opposite sides of a valley. The sun burned the horizon, and the air trembled with tension. The Israelites stood frozen, an entire nation shaken not by war, but by one man, a giant. He stepped forward every morning and every evening, his voice booming across the valley, daring anyone to face him. But no one moved. No soldier, no leader, no warrior. Goliath was a mountain in human form, towering, armored, unstoppable, a living symbol of fear. And each time he challenged the Israelites, their confidence crumbled a little more. Their courage shrank. Their hope dimmed. What they saw was a battle they could not win. But destiny has a strange way of working. It often chooses the most unlikely person at the most unexpected moment. Where everyone else saw defeat, destiny saw an opportunity. Far away from the battlefield, in quiet fields brushed by the wind, a young shepherd tended to his sheep. His name was David. He was small compared to the warriors of his day, ordinary in the eyes of society, and overlooked by almost everyone. But sometimes the world overlooks the person who has been quietly preparing to change everything. David wasn't trained for combat. He didn't carry a sword. He didn't wear armor. Yet inside him burned something powerful, an unshakable belief that strength isn't found in how you look, but in the spirit you carry. Before David ever faced a giant, he faced other battles, quiet ones, personal ones. Lions and bears had once threatened his flock, and he fought them with nothing but his bare hands and courage alone. No applause, no audience, no recognition. Greatness begins in silence, long before the world notices. While others trained for war in public, David mastered discipline in private. While others waited to be chosen, David chose himself every day by becoming stronger when no one was watching. Back on the battlefield, the giant stood again, shouting, mocking, intimidating. His voice rolled like thunder, shaking even the bravest warriors. Fear can spread faster than fire. It takes one loud voice to silence thousands. But fear only grows when we stare at the size of the obstacle and forget the size of the strength within us. When David arrived at the camp and heard the giant's challenge, something stirred within him. Where others saw danger, he saw destiny. Where others saw a monster, he saw an opportunity. So he stepped forward. Immediately people laughed. Soldiers mocked him. Even leaders doubted him. "You're just a boy," they said. "You're too small, you're too weak." But David understood something deep. People don't doubt you because of your lack of ability. They doubt you because of the limits they place on themselves. David refused to borrow their fear. He tried on the king's armor, but it was heavy and unfamiliar. So David made a bold choice. He removed the armor, picked up his sling, and chose 5 small stones. Because victory doesn't come from using what others have. It comes from using what's already in your hand. The battlefield fell silent as David stepped into the valley. The giant laughed when he saw him. To Goliath, David looked like a joke, a child with no chance. But to destiny, David looked like the perfect vessel for a miracle. David didn't run away. He ran toward the giant. With every step, the ground shook, but his heart did not. He reached into his pouch, pulled out a stone, placed it in his sling, and with a single moment of destiny, he released it. The stone cut through the air, guided not by strength but by purpose. And in one impossible instant, a moment that changed history, the The giant fell because giants fall when courage meets preparation. From this ancient story comes wisdom that still speaks to us today. Every giant, no matter how intimidating, has a weakness. Courage is the secret weapon of ordinary people who create extraordinary results. The world may judge your size, your age, your background, but life responds to your spirit. When fear shouts loudly, purpose always whispers louder. But you must choose which voice you listen to. And above all, victory always starts the moment you step forward. In your own journey, giants will rise. They may be fear, they may be doubt, they may be failure, struggle, or uncertainty. But remember David. Remember the sling in your hand. Remember that powerful strength inside you that refuses to surrender. Your giants are not there to stop you, they're there to reveal who you truly are. If this story moved you, if it sparked something inside you, then make sure you subscribe for more powerful stories. Your victory doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins right now.